This is the automated Dogecoin folding at home payout system I've been working on. This is the installation page. We are going to start completely from scratch, and the installer just installs the database structure. So now we'll go into the regular login page. This is what you'd normally see when you tried to administrate the web page. It's created a default login, so I'll log into that. And there we go. So this is administration section. It's not pretty, but it's functional. We've got several sections here in the menu across the top. First is the administration user management, where you configure who can log in and what their privileges is. We'll skip over that much because that needs some massaging. We'll go to config. Config is just a really raw place to do basic configurations, and mostly these are defaulted. We'll make that prettier and have common things you want to configure, like adding the fees, that custom fees to send out with the transactions. So here's the automation tab, which has to do with the cron tabs, which makes things run periodically by minutes or days. We've got three main automations. We got the round automation, which starts a new round, and usually if we want to do a weekly rounds and weekly payouts, we'd start a new round every week, every 7 days. The round monitor executes every couple minutes to check a round that's active. So if we got a active round, the round monitor will be running, and the stat polling automation just keeps running once a minute. Pretty much just pulls the stats from one user each minute, so we don't hammer the extreme overclocking source that we're getting the stats from. Jump over here to the wallet. Right now I have a Dogecoin QT wallet running, and I have it configured to start the RPC server, and I've configured it with password and username for the RPC connection. You can see that our balance is 0. It's a fresh wallet. The web system here has already been configured with that RPC password and should be already connected. So we can hit get info and we get the RPC info from the wallet. So we've just talked to the wallet directly. We can list accounts, but there's no counts and there's 0. Now if you wanted to make an account and only pay out from that account, you can put one in here, but if it's blank, we just use the default account. Alright, workers. Workers is the main thing that's going to need administrated. Basically anybody that's going to be working on the folding at home project team is going to need to tell you their folding at home user ID, which is a number. Now with their folding at home user name, you can look up their user ID, but basically when you're querying for the stats of how much work a user's done, you need the folding at home ID number, and we need to associate a Dogecoin address with it to pay out with. So I've got two accounts ready here. I've got just test name A. His folding at home ID is going to be this number, and his payout number is going to be this number, or this wallet address, and we're going to add that, and we're going to add a second one. He's got a different folding at home ID and a different wallet address to pay out to. So now we got two here ready to go. These would be your normal folders. They would be working, and we will check how much work they did for the week, and we will pay out to the wallet address they provided us. Right now I am going to simulate this, the stats, so I don't necessarily hammer the extreme overclocking website. But when you pull for the stats, you get this, which is a XML page, and has all the data you need. The main thing is you reference it by the folding home ID, so we can see the folding home ID in here, and we can see the points for the week right here. So this is what the system will be grabbing. I've created another one, and I just modified it to have a different user ID that we've logged in here, and a little bit different points. So what happens is you start a round, and the round has a process it goes through. It pulls all the stats of how much work the users did, and then it determines how much to pay out based on the rate. A round will have a specific rate, and then it'll generate a bunch of payouts, and the payouts will be a list of who gets how much money, and it'll wait for you to authorize the payout, and the stats will just list all the statistics that have been collected. So let's get this started. Alright, we've got 2 workers here ready with a fake amount of work they've done, and wallets ready to go. So we are going to, instead of having it automatically go every 7 days and start a new round, we're just going to execute that once and let it do its thing by itself. So we've executed that, and what's happened is the round monitor started, and this is your actual raw cron tab for it. And the round monitor monitors rounds in the list that are unfinished, and we have a round in this list now. The round is working right now. It's requesting stats. It's going to be figuring out everything for us here, and the rate is 0.001 Dogecoins per folding at home point. So let's go here. We're still waiting for it to start and get that 2-minute poll. So let's give it a second here to get started. Okay, so our stats automation has started and it's active. So right now what the round is working on is querying the stats, which will be reading these XML files and grabbing the work out of it. So if we look over here at stats, it's already grabbed, let's see, it's created the queue of pulling the stats, but it hasn't got them yet. We're gonna have to wait for this these hit off. They only hit off once every minute, so let's pause until we get those. We've now got both stats now. You can see that it waited a minute, got one, then waited another minute, got the other. We can see folding at home user ID that ends with 885 had a points for the week of 45563, so we see that there, and the other one 86563, so we see that there. So it knows how much work it's got by reading these XML files, which it could as easily get off the extreme overclocking website. We'll go to the round and we'll see the status. The status says check stats. So this is only checking everything once every 2 minutes. So in a second it'll say, okay, I got all my stats, and it'll generate the payouts, whatever everybody's going to get paid out, and put that in a queue to wait to get paid out. So let's give it time to do that. Alright, so the round monitor has noticed that all the stats were already completed being pulled. So it created the payments, or the payouts, ready to be in the queue. So the payout isn't paid yet. Has a wallet address and how much it needs to get paid. and so it decided this one's going to get 45 Dogecoins and this one's going to get 86. So we go back to the round, it says it's paying, so it's basically just waiting on us now. We have two things it's waiting on: approved and funded. Right now it is not funded because there's not enough Dogecoins in the wallet. We can see our balance is 0, and also we haven't approved it. So first, let's send some Dogecoins to the wallet. We go back to the rounds, and now that it knows everything, it knows that this is the total amount of work for both of the workers, and the total pay is this many Dogecoins. So I need to send the wallet that many Dogecoins, and I'm going to do that with my phone. Okay. Alright, so we have sent it. We'll go to this wallet and double check, but okay. And we are configured to require at least one confirmation for our balance right now, which is probably the very minimum of what we want to do. Now I think my balance is going to go into the round test account, which is going to be problematic. There we go. We got our balance now. And since we've got to specify what account we are sending from, we need to set the account to round test. Alright, so let's go back to the round. Here, let me just send the same amount again, just so we know there's plenty in there. Alright, so anyways, we've for sure got enough money to pay out. Enough Dogecoins to pay out in the wallet. We'll go to the round. Right now it's saying it's not funded yet. Something tells me it doesn't check to see if it's funded until after I approve it. So we're just going to go ahead and approve it and watch what happens. So we are going to click approve. It said yes. If we click this again, we should find out. It should say it's funded, but it'll probably take until that automation hits off again. Let's make it go early. There we go. Yeah, that transaction took forever to go. Oh, we sent it out already, I think. Alright, so now we're saying approved and funded. And if we go out to the payouts, my date and time paid is not correct there, but the transaction ID is. So these have both been paid out. Let's there's the transaction ID, and we see we have three outputs. We have our 45 Dogecoins that is going to the test user A, and then we have the 86 Dogecoins that is going to the test user B, and then we have the change because we sent extra coins there. But so that worked. We sent it out. It's a little rough around the edges. A couple things to work with. Status is done, and it's paid. So that's it. It'll take a little bit of work and testing, and I think we might have something here. Thanks for watching.